To the Observer, Lewis, and if you're poor, old and lonely in the Northwest, good news, you'll make the king even richer when you die.
Yeah, this is a shocking thing. The king's estate, the king, which is, we used to have a queen, and they used to be a queen. King's
Thanks for
estate
the recap.
to transfer £100 million into ethical funds after bona vacantia.
What?
I don't know if
You say that on TV. Could we just check?
Bona vacantia. How do you...
Yeah,
Nicholas, you know everything.
Yeah, in Latin it would be vacantia.
Vacantia. Bona vacantia. Actually, we don't know how things were pronounced in Latin.
Anyway, can we get back on the story?
Anyway, this was amazing, is that if you die in the Northwest and you don't have a will, you don't have any family members, the money goes to the king. It goes to the king. And that's why he wants to, and he's been like saying, what have you been spending this money on? To renovate his houses, to make more money. This king, it makes Bill Gates look like he's not interested in money.
Maybe more of that later. Are you shocked by this? It also happens down in Cornwall to a different duchy.
I think we are both shocked as non-Englishmen and commoners, if I may say that.
As an Englishman, they don't mention it to you often. I didn't know about this.
Okay, it's good to know that we are in company, because obviously you're more sophisticated in that regard. But yeah, this is a double whammy, because on the one hand, this thing has come out thanks to a Guardian investigation. For once, the Guardian has done something useful. It doesn't happen every day. Something described as an archaic hangover from the medieval times, a bizarre remnant of feudal Britain. So basically, if you die in the Northwest and you have no will or no next of kin, your patrimony, your property, your money goes to the king and not to the state. And the second aspect of the double whammy is that the money often, as Lewis was saying, is not exactly spent by these charities on those areas that the king himself so fervently and fervently has advocated for. The Guardian asked...
where the money is coming from, right?
Well, the dead people. We know where
we know where it comes from, but the Guardian couldn't get an answer as to whether these charities run by the Duchy of Lancaster were investing, for example, in mining. Not that I think there's anything wrong with it, but in mining, in tobacco, and in other industries that are not really, in line with the desires and with the passions of the king.
And he mentioned something, what you said, an archaic hangover from the medieval times, right out of the feudal era, which I would say has to do with everything that the royal family is involved.
Wanted to turn back the clock to the good old days? Looks like we did.